Ready? Unknown facts of Kantara. Kantara songs, original or copy. The real story of Bhutakola. Shiva, the connection between Brahmastra and Kantara. South film rocks, Bollywood shocks. No, this is not such a video. I am not going to tell you about the hidden secrets of Kantara. But this video is about that movie. The movie that made Rishabh Shetty a bona fide star and made everyone all around the country go. Especially coming from coastal Karnataka, this movie was a spiritual experience for me. If you haven't watched it yet, how sad is your life? Like all of you, I have watched Kantara again and again and again. Then I noticed something. I couldn't find one useless character in Kantara. One character you can remove and still make the movie work. How are the makers of Kantara able to achieve this? In this video, we are going to analyze the brilliant character design of Kantara. I am Anand Krishna and this is Filmaacharya. So how do you create characters for the film? You start with the premise. According to the book Anatomy of a Story by John Truby, the premise is your story in one sentence. It is the simplest combination of character and plot, typically consisting of some event that starts the action, some sense of the main character, and some sense of the outcome of the story. Kantara is the story of the villagers of Kadubettu who fight and finally defeat the oppressive force threatening to take away their land. Sorry to interrupt. Before I continue this video, I need to give a shout out to my longtime friend and collaborator Paul Nongrum. He is the reason why we have such good production in this video today. He is a portrait fashion photographer who has recently moved to Bangalore. He is looking for people to collaborate with. You can check out his works in his Instagram. Just click the link in my description and tell him I sent you there. Back to the video. Now that we have the premise, we can create the hero, right? No. We need to figure out the theme of the film. According to Rishabh Shetty, the theme of the film is human versus nature. Great. Now we can create the hero, right? No. A character is not just defined by who they are, but also by who they are not. This means that we need to design the characters around the hero first. We know the central conflict of the film is about the ownership of the land the villagers are living in. On one side of this issue, we have Danigalu, who thinks the land belongs to him, a human. On the other side, we have Forest Officer Murali, who thinks the land should be considered a reserved forest, nature. These are the two extremities. Now we can finally create our hero. Our hero is Shiva. He is stuck in between these two extremities and in the end, he fights the human in order to give the land back to nature. Right? Right? Wait a minute. That doesn't sound right. Where did I go wrong? Oh, my bad. My understanding of the theme is wrong. The theme is the moral argument the movie is trying to make. Human versus nature is not a moral argument. It's a subject matter. So what is the moral argument of Kantara? To figure that out, let's redefine all the characters in the movie. We already know Danigalu and Murali. Next is our hero, Shiva. He believes that the land should be owned by the people living in it. And then you have Leela. She believes that even though people live on the land, it should be protected by forest officers. These are your four main characters in the movie. If you are thinking, okay, but this still doesn't explain how the other characters are essential to the story, let's look at the character traits of all the main characters. Let's start with Shiva. His character trait is being irresponsible. How do we show he is irresponsible? By showing two sets of contrasting characters around him. On the one side, you have his ragtag group of friends who encourage him to be irresponsible. On the other side, you have his mother and Gurua who represent duty and responsibility. Take Murali. He is duty-bound, short-tempered and egoistic. On one side, you have his colleagues, who are level-headed and diplomatic. On the other side, we have Shiva, who is jobless and an even bigger egoist. Leela's main conflict is deciding which side to take, the villagers or her duty. This puts her in constant rivalry with Murali and the villagers. Finally, we have Danigalu, who is selfish and greedy. This is shown with the help of his father, who taught him his greed, and his workers, who help execute his selfish plans. Contrasting both of them are his wife and child, who are shown to be innocent. Now you can see how each of the supporting roles bring out the character traits of our main characters. But we still have one question remaining. What is the theme of Kantara? What is the movie trying to say? For that, let's look at the most important aspect of writing characters, the character arc. The character arc is the change a character goes through over the course of the story. If we take a look at Kantara, Leela starts off as a passive person who is conflicted between the villagers and her duty. And then becomes the one who joins hands with the villagers and initiates the fight against Danigalu. Danigalu starts off as a benefactor of the villagers.
ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ ಊರಿನವರು. ಜೀವ ಇರುವ ತನಕ ಒಗ್ಗಟ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಬದುಕಬೇಕು, ಅದೇ ಚಂದ. ಎಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ?
But turns out to be a selfish landlord who cheats and attacks the villagers and becomes the major evil force that needs to be vanquished.
ಮಾಡಿದಾನಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಜಾಗದಿಂದ ನನ್ನ ಮಗನನ್ನ ಕೊಂದ, ಮೋಸ, ಅನ್ಯಾಯ, ತಗಲ್ಬಾಜಿ.
ಸುಮ್ನಿರ ಬ್ಯಾವರ್ಸಿಗಳ. ಧರ್ಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತು ನೀವೇ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾ?
Murali starts off as an opposition to Shiva and the villagers.
ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಆದೇಶ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಡಿನ ಸುತ್ತಳತೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಎನ್ಕ್ರೋಚ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ?
But ends up teaming up with them in order to protect the land.
ಈಗಲೂ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜಾಗ ನೀವು ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಈ ಜಾಗನ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಇದು ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಅನೌನ್ಸ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಕಾಡು ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜಾಗನೂ
The
ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ.
same goes with Shiva, who is irresponsible and anti-authority in the beginning.
ನಿಮ್ ದತ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಹೋಗು ಬನ್ನಿ ಬನ್ನಿ.
ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮುಂದುವರಿತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಚರಣೆ ಆಡಂಬರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ.
ನಿನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಪನಿಗೆ ಹುಡಿದವನಾದ್ರೆ ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡ್ಸ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜೀವಂತ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದ್ದ ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ತೇನೆ ಬ್ಯಾವರ್ಸಿ.
But changes into a person who works with the authorities for the sake of the land.
ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಆದದನ್ನು ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಬೇಡಿ ಸರ್, ತಪ್ಪಾಯ್ತು. ನನಗೆಂತಾರು ಆದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮೊರೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ನೀವು ಇರ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
If the story was just this much, it would be a typical good versus evil story. But Rishabh Shetty adds one more unexpected element. Yes, I am talking about that climax scene where Shiva is possessed by the spirit of Guliga, which helps him vanquish the main villain. This plot point, together with the character arcs of all the main characters, represent the theme of Kantara, its moral argument. That is, if you come together to protect nature, nature will protect you. This is a variation of the phrase Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha, which means Dharma will protect those who protect it. This is how the creators of Kantara were able to brilliantly design the characters for the story in such a way that the supporting roles not only were essential for the plot, but they also contrasted and complemented the main characters, thereby contributing to the theme of the story. And that, for the lack of a better word, is the real hidden secret of Kantara. I hope you guys like the video. Please share with your friends and comment which movie I should talk about next. Also, please subscribe to Filmaacharya. More videos are coming soon.